Hey guys, I am here to tell you about my strategy for beating Tier 2 of the Forest Moon event. I'll go ahead and jump into mods. We'll start with MagnaGuard here. The strategy here is just make him entirely as survivable as possible, which means a lot of health, protection, and defense. I have went with 4 protection primaries and lots of secondary protection, health, and defense, as you can tell. Health percentage is pretty useful on MagnaGuard, but the most important part, because even when I was trying to beat this event previously, I kept having trouble with MagnaGuard dying in wave 4 of this event with the Killer T-Bow. And this gear piece right here is the most important piece, in my opinion, to keeping him alive. The plus 100 strength and then the plus 90 armor, those two things just absolutely increase his total survivability a ton. I didn't record the actual difference on health and armor. My armor, I believe, went from about 37% up to 44%, which adds a ton of survivability. And obviously affects health and protection, but his health also went up a significant amount. You will notice that I actually don't have this med pack on him because he doesn't really need it. This MagnaGuard at 43,700 health and 98,000 protection will actually survive any hit from T-Bow. I have not had an issue with him dying at all, and that is of course at 44.8% armor. That's basically all you need to know with MagnaGuard. If you get close to those numbers, you should be perfectly fine. Now moving on to the speed-based characters, Thrawn and BB-8 specifically, they basically require the same modding. Protection primaries here on Thrawn with as much speed as I can manage. I didn't really move mods, but I got him to 286 speed, 64,000 protection. That's basically enough. You just want him to go as fast as possible because he will give turns to B1, which will be critical. And then here for BB-8, I don't particularly move his mods around either. What I have here seems to be perfectly sufficient. Never really had an issue with him dying. But he is at 289 speed. He's pretty speedy. Let's see what that is. That is plus 121 speed. I don't even have all of his Gear 12 plus pieces on him. So BB-8 you could actually do with less gear, and I wouldn't really worry about it. You just want to focus on that secondary speed 6. He's not really going to get hit. You just want him going as often as possible and getting Illuminated Destiny up for everybody else. As for B2 is basically entirely about survivability. You want him to kind of hang around, but you also want there to be some tenacity on him, because you don't want him to be able to get dazed or anything like that, because I know in wave 8 low grade can daze, and that can create a serious issue. So I've got him at 100% tenacity and 90% potency, which seems to be effective. Also 100k protection. He is relic 3. I don't think that's needed. You could get by with him being at at gear 12. I very, very strongly suspect. This is just where I had him, and as you'll notice, everyone else is gear 12. I think this can be done entirely with gear 12 characters without much of an issue. Moving on to B1. B1 is about offense and speed. I have 3 offense primaries on him: speed arrow, speed set, and then everything else I am basically just looking for secondary speed. Offense is pretty important. I've got him at 265. I mean, he's not crazy fast or anything, and 4,190 offense. I don't even have all of his gear 12 plus pieces on there. Yeah, that's plus 114 speed. I mean, I feel like this is probably pretty reasonable for most people. You shouldn't really have an issue getting to this point. So jumping into strategy, the actual strategy here is basically just make B1 go as often as possible, because of B1's special ability, Droid Battalion. Each stat gives him plus 2% offense and gives tenacity and crit avoidance to everybody. So I guess actually you could focus less on tenacity on B2 because that really shouldn't be an issue either. But the whole goal here is to stack up as much droid battalion as possible. I was at, I believe, 590 stacks by the end of wave 8. So that's why you want offense primaries. If you can get 60 offense primaries on B1, that is great, but you just want him to go as often as possible. But he also gains 15% turn meter when another droid ally uses special ability. So in this team, you of course have BB-8, Magna Guard, and B2 who can use special abilities. And you will want to use special ability every single time with each of those characters. B1 specifically, he gets his special abilities refreshed pretty often, so he will have the event ability along with his regular special ability, and between the two of those you should be able to do one every single time. BB-8 obviously has the special ability you can do every time, and then Magna Guard's kind of the same way. He has two special abilities and then the event ability, which he should be able to use pretty much every single time. And then with Thrawn, what you're going to want to do is use his TM swap with B1. Using that TM swap with B1 will get him going as quick as possible. And in the that first wave, it does get a little scary with Magna Guard, maybe sometimes, but you will always use B1's special ability to heal the other it's to heal Magna Guard, because his heal is based on the droid battalion. Very quickly you'll get to a point where it's just basically a 100% heal, fully heals his health and protection without any issue whatsoever. So basically just always heal him, keep him up. With Magna Guard, you use that special event ability, give him the extra defense anytime you get an opportunity. So as you go through this thing, it will take you a while. It took me about 25 minutes to beat this event, and I don't really have any trouble doing so. It's just a little lengthy to do so. You can extend that time a little bit if you're worried about it, because there are several waves where there's like a Ewok Elder, and you can kind of just keep killing off a bunch of other Ewoks, let them revive, and really just stack up your droid battalion. By cycling those turns on B1 and get it stacked up as much as you can. What I basically do is save Illuminated Destiny for the beginning of a wave. So I'll just keep doing special ability to cycle turns on B1. If I know it's going to take a while, I might use Illuminated Destiny if B1's low on turn meter, so I'm just to give him another turn or something along those lines. But pretty much use Illuminated Destiny and then save it for the beginning of the next wave. That is critical, especially as you're leaving wave 3 going into wave 4, which is where you run into Death Tipo. So use that same strategy basically on waves 1 through 3, and then 5, 6, and 7. Waves 4 and 8, which I'm about to talk about, do work a little bit different. So as for wave 4, what you're going to do is you want to get Tipo fractured. So use that Illuminated Destiny, or let Thrawn go, however your turn meter is. You like to ideally kind of have BB-8 at full turn meter, that way he can get everybody up. But this can be a little bit fussy. Eventually Tipo will go. He will hit Magna Guard, which is an issue because you have gotten your Magna Guard to a survivability point to where it's not an issue. And he can get, with the health and protection numbers that I mentioned, he is survivable enough that he can take a hit from Tipo and take a hit from Elder to some degree, and still give B1 time to get him healed up. And so you'll just kind of work on the Elders and Tipo, just kind of slowly work everybody down, try to kill off the Elders, because like I said, Tipo's not a massive issue at this point. So once you get the Elders killed off, then you can kill Tipo. You want to keep Tipo fractured as often as possible, that way you can kind of work on the Elders, because they will revive each other and they can be unbelievably annoying, but you shouldn't really have an issue. And then as you move into the other waves, you'll kind of keep doing that same strategy that I've mentioned. When you get to wave 7, you will certainly want to keep that Illuminated Destiny for whenever you move into wave 8. Wave 8, I have found that Ewok, Elder, and Logray are the 2 biggest issues, but Chirpa can be a problem because he does hit quite hard. I generally fracture Logray because I don't want to deal with the chance of getting dazed. You should have a ton of tenacity at this point, you know, a couple 100% because of the stacks of droid battalion on B1. You know, at this point, you know, if you're over 500, 550, something like that, you're probably going to be good if you get there with everybody alive, which I haven't had much of an issue doing. I generally just like to fracture Logray so he's not an issue, then work on Elder, and then after Elder, you know, keep Logray controlled, but try to get rid of Wicket and Chirpa. You do quite a bit of damage. I think some of my AoEs were hitting for 60k with B1, with my Gear 12 B1. So just kind of keep working it and try to control the match. That is the biggest thing. Just don't let yourself get dazed, because if you get dazed, it can be a problem. You do have Thrawn who can get rid of daze, but that's pretty much the strategy. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful, and yeah, I'll kind of let the video keep playing, and you guys can kind of see how this battle finished off for me, and good luck.